After a junior year internship at a top investment bank, my professional trajectory was set. Finance was my future. At the time, I didn't appreciate the extent to which my identity was already tied to that path. My family congratulated me on my prospects, and friends began approaching me about investment advice and tips for scoring jobs in the industry. I even had the nickname Goldman Greg. Then the financial crisis hit. And just like that, in the middle of my senior year, my guaranteed high-flying Wall Street career vanished in a puff of smoke. Have you ever been in situations like this, where your picture-perfect life plans get crumpled up like a ball of paper and thrown in the trash? Today, I'm going to share with you my unusual wealth-building journey. And I'm going to use my story to illustrate how disruptions to your life plans can actually be opportunities for growth. And equally important, when approached with the right mindset, I want to prove to you that unexpected turns in your life can in fact lay a strong foundation for wealth generation. So, if building wealth on your own terms is important to you, then stick around. Welcome to Stake Your Wealth, where we tackle all things related to personal finance, financial independence, and smart investments. If building wealth is a priority for you, be sure to click that subscribe button and join our crew at stakeyourwealth.com. Okay, it's 2008 and I've just lost my golden ticket. My prestigious investment banking job offer never materialized. With one rejection phone call, my future went from bright New York City penthouses to this pitch black abyss of the unknown. Unsure of what to do, I submitted a past-due application to a program called Princeton in Asia, which places college graduates in one-year social impact roles throughout Asia. Miraculously, I was accepted. In stark contrast to the marbled lobbies of Wall Street, I spent my first year out of college in one of the most impoverished and remote regions of China. I taught English in a rural public school where the toilets were unplumbed, maggot-ridden trenches, and my shower was a rubber bag with a spigot suspended from a rafter in my dorm room. A typical dinner was chicken liver and cubes of congealed pig blood. The life of a glamorous financier, this was not. Though I did acquire a few great stories, which were published in the Wall Street Journal. And it did lay a strong foundation of resourcefulness and adaptability. After my year in the hinterlands, the plan was to pivot back to finance. I'd dust off my suit and start stuffing dollars in my pocket. But evidently fate didn't get the memo. Every firm I applied to turned me down. So instead, I spent the next 3 years in Beijing launching the fundraising department for the same nonprofit that I had taught for. During that time, we grew from 5 employees to 80 employees, becoming one of the largest and highest performing NPOs in China. In the process, I learned what it takes to rapidly scale an organization in a convoluted and unpredictable business environment. While I didn't make much money, the value of those unique experiences was profound. Yet in my head, I still needed the validation of a prestigious, high-paying job. That's what everyone expected of me. It was who I was. Unable to shake that notion, I applied to business school. Once again, I got lucky. Of all the schools I applied to, I was admitted to just one, and it happened to be one of the best. Surely, this was fate giving me another chance to claim my rightful place in the Wall Street boardroom. In the first year of my MBA, I poured hundreds of hours into grueling interview prep for the all-important summer internship. I scored interviews to all the top management consulting firms, yet to my utter dismay, I was ultimately rejected by all of them. At this point, I was mentally crushed. Here was my final chance to break into the big leagues, and once again, I had totally botched it. Something was clearly wrong. In a fit of desperation, I booked a week of surfing lessons in the Dominican Republic to mentally reset. And as cliche as it sounds, a week on the waves gave me the clarity I needed. I realized I didn't fit the mold these distinguished companies were looking for. And it occurred to me that every one of my successes up to that point materialized only after I rejected other people's expectations of what I should do. So once again, I pivoted. I aborted my pursuit of prestigious, high-paying internships and instead fired off applications to fledgling tech firms and startups where the cookie-cutter molds don't exist. My hit rate wasn't great, but ultimately I ended up securing a sales associate role paying a paltry $12 an hour. No on-site chefs, no masseuses, no business class flights. Just a windowless, fluorescent-lit cave in the heart of Manhattan. But hey, at least this place had a flushing toilet. My summer at that startup was transformative. Reporting directly to the founder, I rotated through every functional role in the company, learning more about operating a business than I ever would have learned in a traditional banking or consulting internship. I continued to work remotely for that company during my second year of business school. And after graduation, I joined full-time as the Chief Operating Officer. In the 3 years that followed, we grew from 3 employees to 40 employees, closed deals worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and ultimately, we were acquired by one of the largest players in our industry. I now have the best job of my life, working with my wife, Mary Daphne, on a variety of online educational initiatives, ranging from professional social skills, Explearning, to personal finance, Stake Your Wealth. And I'm happy to report that I'm no longer plagued by the desire to validate my self-worth through an esteemed, high-earning job. I've discovered that I'm far happier when I'm building things and challenging myself than when I'm seeking the respect of the people around me. So if there's anything you should take away from my story, it's that there's no set career path that you're shackled to. Don't be afraid to let go of the reins and adopt a fluid, complex identity. Embrace spontaneous opportunities instead of forcing your future that you think you deserve. This approach can amount to much more than you might expect. My greatest failures emerged from attempts to conform to society's model of success. And my greatest victories came from venturing out into the unknown, often to the chorus of, "Be sure you know what you're doing." Well, I don't know what I'm doing. Not really. And I've never been more comfortable with that fact. My hope is that if you find yourself in my situation, this helps you feel a bit more comfortable with that uncertainty as well. Immerse yourself in the chaos. Commit to making the most of the situation you're in. And in less time than you think, opportunities will present themselves that will catapult you to a whole new category of wealth, however you define that. Now that I've shared my experiences turning rejection into growth, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What obstacles have you converted into opportunities? What wealth-building lessons have you learned from unexpected changes in your life? Share that with me and the other wealth stakers in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and share this with anyone who loves building wealth. Finally, we publish the write-ups and podcasts for all of our content on our blog, stakeyourwealth.com. So be sure to check that out as well. With that, I bid you adieu and happy wealth staking.